If you want to never lose in Riftbound, you should play Teemo. This is why. The match started out with a pretty decent hand, where my opponent played an unsung hero and it went back to me, where I played a Sprite Fountain and brought my Sprite over to the Star Spring, getting me my first point, where I hid Teemo and I passed it back to him. He then decided to bring the unsung over to my Sprite using a cleave, which forced me to flip Teemo. And after starting the ability, I hit 0, 1, 2, 0, 3, and only 3 damage, where he played a tactical retreat and killed my Teemo. I was so sad. Back on my turn, I brought the Sprite over to the Bandle Tree, getting me my second point, where I then hit a Tide Turner and passed back to him. He then played an accelerated Rengar and brought it over to the Bandle Tree, which I played a stack deck, and I grabbed a Sprite Fountain. But unfortunately, both of my units were killed. He then brought the Unsung over to the Star Spring, and it went back to me. Back on my turn, I Wages of Pain the Unsung Hero, which actually went through. I then played a Sprite Fountain, and brought it over to the Star Spring, getting me my third point. Back on his turn, he ganked with Rengar, and it immediately killed my Sprite, where he then played a Ferris Forerunner, and brought Rengar back to base. I got my second Sprite, which I then brought over to the Bandle Tree, getting me my fourth point. I then decided to play a Nocturne, and hide an Evelynn, just in case. He decided to Hextech raid my Sprite and bring a Jhin over to the Star Spring, which pushed the Ferris Forerunner back to base, which he then swung with Rengar and the Ferris Forerunner. This was not looking good. So I flipped over Evelynn, and I used a switcheroo on the Ferris Forerunner and Evelynn, giving her 6 and him 2. And thankfully, Evelynn was able to survive. And back on my turn, I hit a blue Teemo and decided to play my Ravenbloom in base just in case. He then played an Honest Broker to the battlefield, pushing Jhin back, where he brought both of his mechs and Jhin over to me, which I flipped over Teemo and I targeted one of the mechs, where my first card was nothing, but then I hit a Nocturne and this was amazing. And I only hit 1 damage. This was pretty sad. He then equipped a longsword to save Jhin, where I could only kill 1 mech. And from there, he used the Vi Legend ability and brought Jhin back to base. Back on my turn, I played a stack deck, and this was one of the most important decisions of the game. It took me a solid 4 minutes to decide what to grab, but I ended up picking another stack deck, and in doing so, I played another stack deck, which gave Ravenbloom +2 might, and I was able to find a switcheroo, and this is just what I needed. I then brought the Ravenbloom over to the mech, where I was able to take it out and get another point, bringing me up to 6. I then swung with Nocturne to the Honest Broker, bringing me up to 7, and this game was looking pretty good. Back on his turn, he brought Jhin over to the Ravenbloom, and without much to do, I used a switcheroo.
Observe my face down card,
which actually went through, giving my Ravenbloom a 7 might. He then decided to play Vi in base. He then equipped the longsword to her as well, and played Upstage Comedy, which was able to ready her. And after using the ability, he doubled her might, not once, but twice, bringing her up to 20 might.
oh, let's go, that's class.
This was crazy. He then swung into my Nocturne, taking it out. There's not much I could do. But having realized that he spent all of his runes, he had no other play to make, and he couldn't stop the hold, where he showed me 2